This video will guide you through 8 steps needed to write a buyout agreement. Buyout agreement drafting is a frequently requested service on the Contracts Council platform, since business owners want to make sure they are legally protected when buying or selling business ownership interests. If you need to write a buyout agreement, this video is for you. Before we start, just a brief disclaimer. The following information is provided for educational purposes and in no way constitutes legal advice. For legal advice, we encourage you to consult a licensed attorney. This video will cover the purpose of buyout agreements, key terms to include in your document, and 8 steps to follow to write your agreement. We've also added a link below with information on lawyer pricing if you want to know the cost of hiring a lawyer. Now let's get started. Purpose of buyout agreements. Buyout agreements are legally binding agreements between business owners that outline the terms of buying or selling ownership interests. The purpose of buyout agreements is to clearly define the terms of the transaction, protect the rights of both parties, and ensure mutual understanding of the terms of the transaction. Some reasons why using a buyout agreement is important are as follows. 1. They create a clear agreement of transaction terms and conditions. 2. They protect both the buyer's and seller's rights. 3. They lessen the possibility of disputes. 4. They ensure compliance with business laws. And 5. They safeguard against potential liabilities and risks. What to include in a buyout agreement? There are common terms used in buyout agreements. Here are some you will find. 1. Names of the parties. The agreement includes the legal names of the buyer and the seller. 2. Purchase price. This section specifies the amount of money being paid for the ownership interest. 3. Payment terms. This section details the payment structure, including any installment payments or financing terms. 4. Closing date. This section clearly states the date by which the transaction will be completed. 5. Representations and warranties. This section includes any statements of fact that the parties are making about the business or the transaction. An example of a representation and warranty is our company is legally authorized to conduct business. If the buyer learns that this is not true, the seller would be in breach of contract. 6. Indemnification. This section specifies how the parties will handle any losses arising from the agreement. 7. Confidentiality. This section protects any confidential information shared during the transaction. And 8. Dispute resolution. This details the procedure the parties can take in the event of a dispute. 8 steps to writing a buyout agreement. Here is a list of 8 steps you can follow to draft your buyout agreement. 1. Review the commonly used clauses discussed earlier in this video or find a template online to use as a reference. This will allow you to know what to include. 2. Identify the key information you want to include in your agreement. This may include details about the purchase price, payment terms, and closing date. 3. It is critical to use clear and concise language that both parties can understand. 4. Once you've written your clauses, organize them so that they are logical. For example, you likely want to have the purchase price section come before the payment terms section. 5. Be sure to incorporate any applicable business laws and regulations that may be specific to your state or industry. Note this may require research. 6. If you are unsure about anything, consider using Contracts Council's platform to seek advice from an experienced business lawyer that works on buyout agreements. 7. Review and revise the agreement to make the language clearer and confirm you have included everything needed. And 8. Create a single document to serve as your buyout agreement and ensure both parties have access to it. Drafting a buyout agreement is a vital step in protecting both the buyer and seller in a business transaction. If you need help from an experienced lawyer, feel free to search Contracts Council or visit contractscouncil.com and post a job to get quotes from lawyers to help you. Thanks for watching.